Hi, I'm Galen. I'm a partner with Insurance Claim HQ, powered by Hare Shannara Trial Attorneys. What is additional living expenses? This is unfortunately a topic that always comes up after the fact. Most people don't realize what additional living expenses are before they're dealing with the disaster, so often they're not ready. Good news about additional living expenses is we can typically figure this out after the fact. First thing about additional living expenses is it's designed to restore you to a reasonable living condition after a disaster has made your home uninhabitable. That's not the same as evacuation expenses. That's a different part of your policy. But if your home has been damaged and you can't really live there, then you're entitled under most policies to go get a hotel, an apartment, a camper, something like that where you can live comfortably. Let me give you a great example. Some insurance companies will say, well, if you have running water and electricity, you can live there. I don't think that's true. For instance, you may have lost your kitchen. Well, if you don't have a kitchen, you can't cook groceries. And if you can't cook groceries, you can't make meals. And if you can't make meals, you need to go out to eat. That's an additional living expense. Let's say your washer and dryer were damaged in the storm and you can't get one yet for some reason, whether your electrical's out or whatever. Now you need to go to the laundromat. That's an additional living expense. So even beyond just a hotel or things like that, there are additional living expenses hidden everywhere in your life after a disaster. How many of you after a hurricane are now broke because of all the money you've had to spend? You need to go back and look at your bank account and figure out what you're spending it on. A lot of that stuff are additional living expenses. In fact, additional living expenses hide all over the place, not just in terms of like where you live or what you do, but it can even be mileage. If you're now staying further away from your work, that additional mileage is an additional living expense. Maybe you're staying further away from your child's school. That's an additional living expense. I've had people who have to travel further for doctor's appointments. That also is an additional living expense. To calculate additional living expenses, what you really have to do is go through every part of your life and figure out exactly how much additional money you're spending and why, and then save those receipts. I also suggest always keeping a journal with these things until you're convinced that life is back to normal. If you have any questions about this or really anything for your claim, give us a call at Insurance Claim HQ. We'd love to help.